part 1, doing honors in English. First of all, I wish you a very, very warm morning to you all. Today, I am going to discuss a very beautiful satire written by Alexander Pope, a 18th century poet, and the poem is The Rape of the Lock. The Rape of the Lock is a mock epic poem. Why is it a mock epic poem? First of all, the very question that will crop up in your mind is to know what is an epic poem. Dear students, epic in Hindi is known as Mahakavya. There are certain features of an epic poem. Epic poems के कुछ elements होते हैं, उसके कुछ features होते हैं, and that poem is judged upon the touchstone of those features. It is said that the subject matter as well as the style. This means the content, theme of the poem. Content means the theme of the poem, that is subject matter of the poem, and its style, that is its container, you can say. Both should be of sublime nature. Both should be lofty. A poet in an epic poem discusses a subject of value, subject of greater value, as we have seen in Goswami Tulsidas, Ramcharitmanas, or Milton's Paradise Lost. And there are so many epic poets, that is Homer, etc. So in almost all these books, you will find that the subject matter is sublime. The subject matter is lofty. It is of high level, you can say. At the same time, the style is also of the same level. An epic poem always starts with invocation. Invocation means the prayer to God. The poet prays to the muse. Muse is the goddess of poetry, to strengthen him so that he might be able to complete that very task. Dear students or dear friends, you know this very well, that creation is very tough, and to create a poem or to create an epic poem is not everybody's cup of tea. It is not a cakewalk, you can say. It is not an easy task. It demands energy. It demands patience. It demands extra wisdom, extra intellect. And all these things can be provided only by the Almighty. Therefore, the poem always starts with the invocation. After that, we find that the subject, the theme of that particular poem, of that epic poem, is of high quality, is very lofty, is very sublime. There is the description of war also in an epic poem. And if there is the description of war, there must be the description of weapons. There should be the use of supernatural power, supernatural elements in an epic poem. It is also its feature. Sometimes war might be external, war might be internal, war might be outer, war might be inner. Outer war, the poet might show two people fighting. Inner war, there is the struggle, there is the conflict between the good and the evil, between the good and the devil, you can say, between the good and the bad, which are always present in the heart of man, in the mind of man. हमेशा दोनों ताकतें, अच्छी ताकतें और शैतानी ताकतें, असुर और सुर, are always inside us. When we are in sur, we remain in harmony, as you might have seen in harmonium, the very name, that musical instrument, harmonium. When all the notes of harmonium are of equal level, are in balance, music is produced. If the notes are not in harmony, cacophony is produced. So sometimes the poet might discuss regarding the outer war, or sometimes he might discuss the inner war. There must be some suggestions also. The suggestions sometimes might be written on the wall for everyone to see it. Sometimes the suggestion might be hidden. So these things are the features of an epic poem. Now, since we have to discuss the Rape of the Lock as a mock epic poem, we want to know how it is a mock epic poem. So, dear students, you must know the meaning of mock first. M-O-C-K, mock. Mock matlab not real. Duplicate, you can say. Nakali, you can say. I want to drive the point home by this example that at every year, or in every year, before 15th of August or 16th of January, our soldiers do mock drill, mock parade before coming to Lal Killa on 15th of August. They rehearsal. That is not final. That is mock. That is nakli, isko aap kehte hain, nakli. The Rape of the Lock is not the asli Mahakavya, asli mock epic. It is nakli mock epic poem. Certain features, no doubt. It has. If this poem had not carried certain features of an epic poem, it should not have. It would not have been termed or called as mock epic poem. If the poem is known, or if the poem is called mock epic poem, this means this poem certainly carries some of the features of an epic poem. Undoubtedly, if you go through the poem, you will find that the poet, the great Alexander Pope, has treated the theme or the subject matter of this poem in a grand style, you can say, lofty style, great scale, the scale which is followed in writing an epic poem. That meter, that scale, that level has been maintained by the poet. But if that is maintained, it should have been a mock. It should have been an epic poem, not the mock. But the minus point, or the point, or the thing, or the matter that makes the rape of the lock as a mock epic is this, that the subject matter of this poem is not sublime. It is very shallow, chichla, the cutting of the lock. The cutting of the lock from the head of a lady. This is the very subject matter of this poem. So this subject matter, the cutting of the lock from the head of a lady, can't be equaled to the theme of Paradise Lost, where Milton discusses the ways of God to man. It can't be discussed, it can't be equaled, you can say, it can't be equaled with the theme of Ramcharitmanas, where the poet Goswami Tulsidas discusses the clash, discusses the war, you can say, discusses the combat, you can say, between the good and the evil. Therefore, this poem, however, it maintains the style of an epic. The style, as I always say, the style is very much epicana. But since its subject matter is of low level, of low degree, you can say, of shallow nature, therefore this poem is a mock epic poem or mock heroic poem. Mock heroic or mock epic, they are the same thing. It is a parody. Sometimes a question might be asked like this: Rape of the Lock is a parody of epic poem discussed. So parody means the same thing. Nakal, mock epic, mock heroic, a parody, all these things are the same thing. As you know, or as I have discussed earlier also, that this poem is the result of the feud, F-E-U-D, feud that cropped up between two couples, you can say, Miss Arabella Fermor and Lord Peter. Miss Arabella Fermor in the poem is present by the name of Belinda, and Byron represents Lord Peter. They are in love, but as you know, in the upper class or upper middle class of 18th century, love has no matter. At that time, the ladies were so flippant, they were very frivolous, and so were the gentlemen, so were the Buicks. One used to follow and the other used to be followed. That was the very objective of their life. The ladies, after polishing their faces, putting on very gorgeous dress, used to attract the attention of so many gentlemen, and she used to feel proud of herself if they saw the trains of gentlemen following her. She was not sincere, or you can say they were not sincere in their love. They used to change their love as we change our dress. From morning to evening, from morning to night, they used to change so many dresses. So Arabella Fermor behaves, you can say, the misbehave, the rough behavior of Arabella Fermor, or the indifference of Miss Arabella Fermor to Lord Peter pinches him a lot. He knows she loves her, Still, she is not ready to love him. She is not ready to accept him because she is not satisfied with him only. Her eyes are on on some other people also, on some other young people also. So he gets irritated, and in that irritation, one day he cuts his lock, and this cutting of lock gives birth to the feud, to the enmity between these two friendly family, you can say. And now, after this incident, after this very fatal event, you can say, these two friendly family turn into the warring families. Both have a friend, that is Carlyle, and Carlyle is also the friend of the poet. Carlyle wants to establish the truce, TRUCE, between these two. Therefore, he goes to the poet, requests him to write a poem so that these two, that means Miss Arabella Fermor and Belinda, might come closer, might come together once again. Pope listens to the story, finds the subject matter very tasty, very delicious, very sumptuous, and he writes a poem, and that is The Rape of the Lock. Now, while listening to the story, he understands the nature of that particular of that particular age, the nature of the ladies or the gentlemen of upper class society or upper middle class society, and he finds that the way they are living, that means their ways of living is not good, is not healthy, it is not good for the society, for the health of the society. This type of society can't go ahead, can't go upward. If the situation goes on, if the situation continues, the society might fall, the society might go downward, the society might degrade. Therefore, he uses the weapon of satire in the poem, just to tell the people, just to make the people know they are wrong. You are wrong. You are wrong in your thinking. You are wrong in your living. Your living style is wrong, etc. This is the very purpose. Now, we will discuss some of the important lines of the poem, because you people are asked to explain the lines. You get a question, explain the following, and in that question you will get lines from all the three textbooks which are prescribed for you people. The one that is the Mystic Drum, the other that is the Rape of the Lock, and the last but not the least is the Scholar Gypsy. So there you have to explain the line, and here in my book, in page number 150, there is a very beautiful line, and the line number is 133. In the upper class people, or the people of upper middle class, were very much affluent at that time. They were very rich. They had enough money, enough. much money they had, and they had to use that particular money on different things. They used to use money. Just we we use water, you can say. Just we spoil water, just we throw away water, just like that they used to spend their money. Now dear students, we should come to the text. As you know, this poem has been divided into 5 cantos. So of course, the poem starts with canto first. See the lines. If you have the book, please open the book and see the lines. What dire offense from amorous causes springs? What mighty contest rise from trivial things? I sing this verse to Carlyle muse is due. This even Belinda may vouchsafe to view. Slight is the subject, but not so praise. If she inspire and he approve my lays. See the use of muse word here. M-U-S-E. As I have told you, the muse is the goddess of poetry. And just like the epic style, the poem starts here with invocation. Here the poet says, he is talking to muse. Oh goddess, how it happens? How it happens that sometimes non-serious things cause a great feud. Sometimes the delicate affair like love. Love is a very delicate thing. Love is a very soft thing. Love is a very sober thing. Love is very soft, very mulayam, like paneer, like cotton. But sometimes love affairs prove to be very dangerous, prove to be very detrimental, prove to be very fatal. It takes the life of someone. How it happens? And this is the very subject matter of his poem. Non-serious becomes so serious that it takes the life of someone. How it happens? But it has happened. And since it has happened, hence this poem is. This poem is the result of that non-serious event which has become so serious. At the same time, the poet says that he has tried his level best to do justice to the poem, to the story, to the theme of the poem. But its success depends upon the 3, you can say. At first upon Belinda, upon Miss Arabella Fermor. If she approves it, if she praises it, if she says that no, you have done justice to the theme, if Lord Peter, that is Baron in the poem, he approves it, at the same time, if the readers approve the poem, say what a strange motive goddess could compel a well-bred lord to assault a gentle belle. Oh, say what a stranger cause yet unexplored could make a gentle belle reject a lord. In tasks so bold can little men engage, and in soft bosom dwell such mighty rays. Here in the poem, in these lines, the poet is discussing the theme of the poem. What is the theme? The theme is the rejection of love. The rejection of love on the part of Miss Arabella Fermor, and the reaction on the part of Lord Peter, against this reaction, against this rejection, reaction, and you can say subtraction. घटाओ, बाल कटा तो घटिए ना यार, बाल जो कटा तो घटा. तो rejection, reaction and subtraction. This is the poem. How it happens? The poet fails to understand. You say, O goddess, say, what a strange motive goddess could compel a well-bred lord to assault a gentle belly. Lord Peter is not a ruffian. He is a well-bred gentleman. He belongs to a royal family. He belongs to a refined family. He is a man of refined nature. He should not have done that task. He should not have done that paltry, P-A-L-T-R-Y, paltry task. He should not have done, but he has done. How? How it happened? How the idea of such thing entered into his mind? How such a low idea, such a mean, M-E-N, such mean idea creeps into or seeps into his mind? How it happened? It is strange, but it has happened, or sometimes it happens also. Then the poet says, oh, say what strange cause yet unexplored, not explode, hidden you can say. Explode खोजा हुआ, unexplored जो कभी खोजा हुआ नहीं है, hidden, could make a gentle belly reject a lot. It also perplexes, it also puzzles the poet that if both, that means Arabella Farmo and Lord Peter were gentle men and women, you can see. They belong to good rich family. They belong to royal family. There was nothing wrong was there in Lord Peter. No wrong was there in Arabella Farmore. There was no obstacle between their love. Then what for? What for the rejection? What for the rejection? To be in love and not to be in love. What for? Just she is showing her love also, and she is showing her indifference also. Why? If she has not done like that, if she had not rejected, Baron has not reacted, Lord Peter has not reacted, and since if he has not reacted, the lock could not have been subtracted, would have been cut. But it has happened. Why and how happened, the poet doesn't know. In tasks so bold, can little men engage, and in soft bosom dwell such mighty rays? There are so many great jobs to be done. There are so many great works to be done. But Lord Peter left everything. And he was just after Belinda. He was just after Miss Arabella Farmore and her locks. Always thinking from morning to evening how to get those locks, how to humiliate her by cutting the locks. The poet fails to understand how it happens, how a well-bred man like Lord Peter get himself engaged in such trifle matter, in that petty matter, you can say, not pretty matter, in that petty matter, in that trifle, you can say, unworthy matter, that is unworthy matter, you can say, having no use, and in soft bosom dwell a mighty rays. When the lock is cut, Arabella Fermor, that is Belinda here, makes a hue and cry. She expresses her rage, R-A-G-E, rage, anger, in such a manner, in such a way that even the sky trembles. Even the sky trembled. आकाश तक कांप गया. The earth witnessed so many earthquakes. धरती पर भूकंप हो गया. And the ozone layer that is there in the sky got torn into cracks. अभी आप ओजोन लेयर देख रहे हैं फटा हुआ आकाश में, तो ओजोन लेयर फट गया, ओजोन लेयर में छेद हो गया. That is the result of the crying, of the shouting of Belinda. Poet says she should not have cried in such a way. How it happens? Ladies are generally considered, girls are generally considered to be to be soft, to be sober, to be mulayam like cotton. So if they are soft, if they are sober, their heart too must be sober. And inside their heart, there must be some sober ideas. If they become angry, their anger should also be soft. अगर वो गुस्सा भी करें तो उनका गुस्सा भी सॉफ्ट होना चाहिए. उनका गुस्सा भी क्या होना चाहिए? मुलायम होना चाहिए. हर गुस्सा, हर एंगर should also be paneerish, you can say, like paneer. But how it happens that the soft bosom, soft heart carries a volcano inside her? The poet fails to understand. Oh God, oh Muse, how such things happen. This minute. Dear students, today I have discussed to you the theme and nature of the poem. I have started the text also. I have tried my level best to drive the point home to you about the nature and signature of the rape of the lock. Now, I request you people to go through the text on your own. In my next class, we will be discussing, throwing light upon some other important lines of the poem. Till then, have a very nice day. Thank you. God bless you.